Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Let's Make a Mill, as well as my own personal blog, letsmakeamill.com. I'm your host, Eugen Vasquez, and basically I'm using this channel to document my journey towards making $1 million. And in today's video, I'm kind of at a pivot point because I don't know what to do with $39,000. If you've been following my blog, you'll know that I have actually just exited out of my Roth IRA, or I was planning to exit out of my Roth IRA. I'll go ahead and play a short clip for you right now to show that I actually sold out. I am actually re-recording this video because the other video I made did not have sound, but I just want to update everybody. I did sell out of my S&P 500 index on Fidelity in my Roth IRA. I plan to use these funds and reallocate them to other investments, for which I will do another video at a later time. But I wanted to show proof that I am actually selling out of my Roth IRA, and I'm not just talking a big game. Right now is September 8th, Tuesday. So right now, depending on how the market is, we may be in the red. I believe last I checked, we're at a little under 2%. So we'll probably be, going higher than 2%. But I want to take as much as I can, as in terms of capital gains, because I want to allocate this money towards other investments. And of course, I'm going to set aside, money for taxes and capital gain taxes. But, just to show further proof that I did sell out of it, if we go to my activities and orders here, we can see that I have a sell order for today, 9/8/2020, for all 338 shares of FXAIX. All right, which would actually be a total of $40,359. Hopefully I get that money, but I doubt it, because as the market drops, the index will be sold at the end of the day. So whatever capital gain losses I take is what I take. Here's my actual share count, so you can see and verify for yourself that I have actually sold out of my Roth IRA. So I sold out of my Roth IRA. The cash position was about $39,000, and I'm not quite sure what to do with it. And again, I'm trying to be transparent and show everybody what I'm doing on my journey towards making $1 million. And it's not that I'm trying to impress anybody or trying to show that I have a large cash position or anything like that. This was really not part of my plan, and the reason why I had to exit out of my Roth IRA was because of some taxes and penalties that I didn't quite really fully comprehend at the time of my investment into the Roth IRA. But now I have to exit. It only makes financial sense. But now what do I do with it, right? We're in a very interesting time. The stock market's extremely volatile. It's going up and down. You have real estate that has so many environmental factors. You have low interest rates, but you have an eviction moratorium. You have people who aren't paying rent. It's just crazy right now. Inflation's right around the corner. And then in my own REIT income portfolio, there's REITs that are on fire sales right now, and it's a prime time to buy this stuff. But trying to think ahead and trying to avoid any pitfalls or any regrets, maybe I just hold on to the cash. I have no idea. And I'm trying to work through this methodically and strategically so I don't make a mistake and catch FOMO. Like, just a little while ago, I was thinking about just taking this whole cash position and dropping it into a few high-tech growth stocks. But then I really had to take a step back and realize that that's not part of my strategy. That's not who I am. That's not me as an investor. So I had to look back, really take some time to think this through. And these are kind of the 4 options that I've come up with. And I'd love to hear your thoughts, down below in the comment. What do you think I should do with the cash? If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Give me a like, dislike, whatever. But let's get right into it. So here I am with $39,000 from my Roth IRA. I spent the last 4 years building up that cash position, and finally, like I said earlier, I had to exit it in order to avoid any more further penalties and any, I will have to pay taxes on the capital gains, which is not a big deal. But now what do I do with this money? I do not want it sitting in a bank account doing nothing. This money is supposed to be working for me to make me more money. So what am I going to be doing with it? First and foremost, this is a good problem to have. When you've reached this moment, at least for me personally, I've reached a moment where these problems are good to have. With the saying, more money, more problems. I mean, at least these problems are better problems. I remember back in the day when I used to have to decide between gas and food or food and rent, but now I'm having to decide between investing into stock market, investing into real estate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But anyways, here are the 4 options that I've come up with, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on them. So option number 1, I can invest into an index. I could take that whole $39,000 cash position and just throw it into my index that I have on Fidelity, ticker FZROX, or I affectionately call it FZROX. So I can just take that money and throw it into Fidelity zero cost total U.S. stock market index and just ride the markets. Right now, as of this recording, last week and probably the last week and a half, the market's been kind of volatile. It's been dropping. We're at an inflection point, and a lot of people are predicting that we're going to be going into a double dip recession here. So I can wait and just hold on to that cash and wait for the right time to drop it into the index or dollar cost average on the way up and on the way down, and then just reap the benefits of long-term investing. So that is one option I can do. The risk is if I put it into that index, I am faced with capital losses, right? Of course, they're just paper losses, but nonetheless, it would be capital loss. So if I need to pull money out of that index at a later time and date, for anything, an emergency, whatever, I could be taking a loss on that cash without any return. So that's just a risk. Option number 2, I've kind of decided, or I kind of thought about using that money to basically spread it amongst my other investments, right? So as you know, I'm invested into Fundrise, I'm invested into an index fund, I'm invested into a REIT income portfolio that's hosted on M1 Finance, link down below in the description, and rental properties, right? So if I was to go with the index, like I said earlier, I could sprinkle a little bit into the index. I'm thinking maybe about $5,000 because my end of quarter goals and my end of year goals is to have that index at $70,000. Currently, I'm at a $65,000 cash position. So I could, put $5,000 into that index out of the $39,000. Another option that part of that same option, I can sprinkle some into Fundrise. Currently, my Fundrise position's at $19,000, or as far as the cash value. The Fundrise account reflects about $20,000, but the cash value is at $19,000, give or take. And I want to get that to $30,000. So I could put $11,000 into Fundrise, right, out of that $39,000. And then, with Fundrise, it's a long-term illiquid investment vehicle that doesn't correlate with the stock market. It's, you're investing into actual physical real estate through a REIT, a non-traded REIT. And I love REITs and I love real estate. So that is one option or one avenue that I could take. The other option or part of that same option, I guess, of sprinkling it all around, I could drop some into my M1 Finance portfolio of REITs that I have hosted on M1 Finance. Currently, that cash value position for the entire portfolio, I think of 23, 24 different stocks, is about 8,700. And I want it to get to 20,000 by the end of the year, definitely 10,000 by the end of this quarter, which I think is doable. I could take about $12,000 and drop it into that portfolio and spread it amongst all the different REITs, and then just, compound over time, let it grow over time, because REITs right now are actually undervalued, a lot of them anyways. I just invested into WP Carry, or stock ticker WPC. So I want to start a cash position in that. And the apartment REITs are still at a good value. They're almost at a fire sale. If you look at VNQ and SPY, you'll see that VNQ still has not fully recovered. And VNQ is Vanguard's real estate investment trust index. SPY is the S&P 500 index. So real estate still has not, fully recovered, which is good, for me. So there's a lot of upside with with a lot of dividend reinvestment or dividend potential. The other part of that same strategy or that same option package, I could use the remaining cash and hold it for a rental property. I could hold it, or I could hold it for a cash position just to take advantage of any of the opportunities I see that come up. Either the index falls, the REIT portfolio income falls. I'm sorry, the REIT income portfolio hosted on M1 Finance, that whole thing falls, and I could take advantage of cheap shares there. Or I just, keep putting money into Fundrise. Or I could save all that money and use it for a rental property, right? The only risk is the bigger environmental factors that are affecting real estate right now. You have the eviction moratorium, right, which will last till the end of the year. Great interest rates right now. You're talking near 0%. So like on a single family home, you could probably get 3.2% interest rate, and probably even lower depending on the terms you negotiate. And then on a bigger macro scale, we have inflation coming. I've mentioned this before in my other video. We have inflation coming. So you want to be in stocks or real estate at that time, according to most, financial analysts, investors, and people of that sort. So again, I'm not trying to tell you what to do or tell you, I'm not a financial analyst. I'm not anyone who's, in the know. I'm just basically using YouTube and free public sources to kind of like tailor my investment strategy. So anyways, moving on. Option number 3, I can go all in on a rental property. So I've been looking at Home Union. As some of you know, I use homeunion.com to find my rental properties. So I've, took a look at them recently. I've gotten in contact with one of their specialists, and we've been kind of going over some investment options. So I could take that whole $39,000 cash position and drop it into a rental property, and I'd be looking for about maybe 10 to 15% cash on cash returns, which I believe is doable. And I'd be happy with that, but again, with the risks, we have the eviction moratorium. We have people who may not pay rent or who aren't paying rent, right? And you can't get rid of them. And you have inflation coming and just, a possible foreclosure wave. And there's just so many other factors going into real estate right now. But I still love real estate, and I would still invest in real estate because of the low interest rate right now. So that was option number 3. Option number 4, I can hold the cash and wait for opportunities. As we all know, cash is king, and you want to be liquid during this period, right? This is not another 2008, 2009 recession, but this is very close to it, right? The financial markets have not crashed and gone into complete utter chaos. No, this is a pandemic, a health pandemic that has harmed the economy and changed and shifted a lot of the markets, right? Real estate is still going strong. The financial markets are still going strong. It's just people are not working, which is affecting the economy. I could just hold the cash and wait for a very prime opportunity to show up at my doorstep, whether it's in the stock market, whether it's, in my REIT portfolio, or whether it's in going all in on a rental property. I could just hold the cash and wait. When you hold cash, you're in a position of power because you can actively, seek out new opportunities, and you can deploy cash readily available. You have a huge pot of money to just pull from and throw it, right? Of course, you wouldn't, well, at least I wouldn't just take all that money and just drop it into one thing. Maybe I'd sprinkle it around, or maybe a little bit here, a little bit there, or whatever, or if I was going to go into a rental property, maybe I have this huge cash position that I now have, and I can pull some from either my index, or I could pull from other sources to build up this pot so I can go for a bigger rental property or a bigger asset, maybe like a duplex, a triplex, or even a quadplex. That's kind of my options and what I've been looking at as far as what to do with this $39,000. There's just so many options. It's crazy how just like the problem that I have, and I almost sound like it's a first world problem, and I'm not trying to make it sound like that, but it's just trying to think ahead, trying to think 5 moves ahead, trying to think, 2, 3, 4 years ahead. This is like a big pivot point. What would you do if you had just almost $40,000 lying around? You would do a lot of due diligence. You would try to look at trends. You try to take advantage of stuff. I loosely thought about, dropping into high tech growth stocks, and just riding the wave and then cashing out at a later time, trying to 5X or even 10X my money. But I'm not a trader. I'm not a speculator. I had to really take some time to think about this. I am a full-fledged investor, right? I have investing principles. my investing principles are, buy long term, buy and hold, passive investments. I'm not looking to get rich tomorrow. I'm not looking to, trade my way to $1 million. It's just not who I am. It's not what I'm doing. It's not part of my strategy. Not to say that it can't change in the future. And I'm not trying to downplay traders or anything like that. You can make a lot of money doing that. But me, I'm a little risk averse when it comes to that kind of stuff. So with all that said, currently I still have a $39,000 cash position exited from my Roth. It's sitting in a money market account, at least earning some kind of interest while I decide what to do with it. So that's kind of where I'm at, kind of the mindset, kind of where I'm stuck at. I hate to beat a dead horse, but it's just, this is such an interesting time. I've never had this much money to just throw into an investment or several investments, unless I was saving for it, like I had a goal. This was something that came out of left field. And then I just decided one day, all right, it's time to exit my Roth. It's more of a tactical move. I could use this cash and deploy it somewhere else. So with all that said, I hope you find some value from this video. Please let me know what you think I should do with this, or kind of what your thoughts are on having such a large cash position during this time. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please let me know down below in the comments. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. If not, that's cool. No big deal. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and look forward to seeing you in my next video. Thanks for watching.